Does your team suck?
Well,
it's reckoning time for a few of the Big 12 schools that I will pose the question. Can we settle here and say, hey, this is just not going to be a very fun year for us. West Virginia, the Pitt win was that, you know what? Hey, they'll put it on the headstone. Very cool. Very good.
Right.
Love it. I think you're a year away. Certainly for Kansas State, Oklahoma State, your season is over. Your season's done. If I'm a fan of Kansas State, I'm not happy that Kansas State is going to kick off in a football game because it just probably is not going to go. If I'm a fan of Oklahoma State, I'm upset that I have to watch that product. They also packed that stadium on Friday night as well and saw Cowboys get walloped by Tulsa. But then there's kind of that middle ground of teams like the Baylor Bears, or even a school that suffered maximum disappointment, losing by 24 points at home with America watching, and Utah. What do we make? We'll start with you. What do we make of Dave Aranda, who is 500 as a head coach and somehow still can't be fired?
You're overplaying this. He's 33-32. Okay, that is over 500, Drake. I don't want to hear any more of that. I'll say, like, Baylor, I don't know if they're as bad as Cincinnati or UCF, but those latter two teams feel better about their teams. Like, their fan bases feel better about their teams, right? Than Baylor's fan base does.
Sure.
This was a super winnable game for Baylor. Super winnable. Like, they coughed it up 3 times. It was 3-0 in the turnover battle, and 3 turnovers turned into only 9 points, which showed how well Baylor's defense played in this game. But that's a difference in a ball game when you lose by 3 on a walk-off field goal, and their defense doesn't make the stop at the end. It's just, I don't know with how much confidence I could say Baylor's very good. SMU has played 2 real teams this year, and they've lost them both. That's Baylor's only signature win through 4 weeks. But that's their only good win. The other's against an FCS team. They got worked by Auburn, who Jackson Arnold really struggled throwing it once again against Oklahoma. Although that Auburn team, man, if they just had a different quarterback, they might win the national championship. And then Arizona State, who got embarrassed a couple weeks ago by losing in Stark Vegas, walks into your house and beats you. Like, when you watch that game, was anyone being like, wow, I mean, Baylor just can't live with Arizona State, man. This team's just too good. No, Baylor just coughed up their lunch, man. And so even going into this week, I would have said they're good at one thing. They're good at passing the football. They haven't been very good at establishing the run, although this was another good Bryson Washington game, but they haven't been good at establishing the run. They haven't been good defensively. They haven't been good stopping the run. They haven't been good rushing the passer. Like, they've not been good in special teams, which they should have been really good at this year. So there's really nothing outside of passing the football that I thought they were very good at, and they were just okay at that on Saturday against Arizona State. So I don't know, man. They're okay. They're one of the okayest football teams in the country to me.
Yeah.
And they're 2-2 to show for it. So
they'll likely drop to 2-4. They'll find a way and then go 8-4.
Unless Oklahoma State fires Gundy this week and we get a nice little Jerry Kill situation. They will not lose to Oklahoma State.
West Virginia 41-10 against Kansas.
Yeah.
This I am a big West Virginia fan. I have adopted them as one of my favorite schools in the Big 12 to wax poetic about, because I love their fan base and I love that they're committed to winning in athletics, something that I don't know if Baylor or Oklahoma State or TCU have done to the degree of a BYU, of a Texas Tech, of even now a West Virginia. This wasn't good. This just made me really sad to watch. I kept thinking about Mountaineer Paul just probably not having a fun time on Saturday.
Bro, I couldn't believe plus 13.5 this week. I hammered the crap out of that. I was like, they can't be that bad. Like, they did beat Pitt, who I don't know exactly what Pitt is, but they're not Virginia Tech.
An FCS
keep
team
throwing
now.
names out there.
We've learned.
Apparently.
The ACC is that bad.
And Pete Souza told me this on my show this week. He does Inside the 12, Pete. And he's like, no, I wouldn't take it. Pitt sucks. Pitt just sucks. Like, I don't buy this. And he really liked Kansas. I didn't see a 31-point win coming. I really didn't. Yeah, that was brutal. I know they've had some bad injuries at this point too. But what was it? Can we go back to that Nico Marchiol, that QBR?
Yeah, the line's not the line. Let's not.
Jordan QBR
23. QBR of 23. Jalen Henderson though 99. He's the young whippersnapper that.
It's working out for Jalen Daniels here though. This new OC, it's working so far.
Yeah, Coach Z.
It took most of the half the season to get it working last year. I know there was some tension.
Look
between
at the established the run here. 260 yards running the football. That's establishing the run.
In the conference, man, that's going to win you a lot of games.
Then you get in the red zone and you let Jalen Daniels throw the ball. Only 12 completions, but 3 touchdowns. That's really good. I like Kansas now. I think Kansas is in the Hall of Very Good for the Big 12. Maybe it's still in that Baylor category.
Sneak up on some people. They could sneak up on some people.
Be fun if Baylor and Kansas got together and had a little romp in the hay.
Be nice.
Feels right. Let's close it up with Utah. Do we throw them in there with Baylor? Now, does Utah get to be branded as like, hey, you just allowed the backup quarterback to whip you up and down the field and beat you at your home place in the biggest game that you've played since you joined the Big 12? Like, are they in just that okay category?
I think so. Basically, because of just what
Can
you
I
laid out.
remind you, by the way, they were 5-7 last year. We can say they were okay. We can say that.
That would be optimistic. Are you talking about last year?
I'm saying last year they were 5-7. So just this year to be like, hey, they're an okay football team. That's right. How most 5-7 teams develop.
And for looking at the schedule, power ranking stuff, what's Utah's biggest win of the season? It was against the Big Ten, UCLA, who's apparently the worst college football team ever, them in North Carolina. So that doesn't look all that great. Cal Poly in Wyoming. And to the point of like, we were very skeptical about Devin Dampier. It looked good for the first 3 weeks. Not very crisp in this Texas Tech game, but mostly that they were going to win games because of their defense, and their defense got whipped up and down the field in that fourth quarter against the Hamburglar, man, the backup quarterback. So I think there's probably some concern in Salt Lake because of that. At West Virginia, still, that's a very winnable game. But then those next two are real interesting. Arizona State, they might have just played themselves right back into the contender picture in this conference by, week 1 of the Big 12 schedule. But these next 2 weeks will prove a lot about Arizona State, by the way. They got Utah in 2 weeks. They got TCU on Friday. Yeah. And then that BYU game for Utah, obviously, that's the season in a couple of different ways right there.
I think
they're okay.
We can say Utah's okay. We can just say Utah's okay. And nobody freak out until proven otherwise. Devin Dampier looked like DeQuan Finn against Texas Tech, and that's okay. Not every law of averages. Not everyone can be elite. Coming up, Utah fans, not okay, man. We need to have a talk. Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is exactly where I went this weekend to put in the best bets for my Big 12 picks. And I won money. Again, 3 of them hit out of the 5. That is plus a unit, up a unit. I win $100. And that's all from FanDuel. With the NFL and college football season being here, FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. It makes every game more exciting. You can bet just $5. If your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I'm now 13-7 in my best bets this year in the Big 12. If you follow those every Thursday, you're probably going to win some money. So if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Go to FanDuel.com and do it today. Today's show is also brought to you by Square. Square, it's like your local friend, big dog. There is something to walking to that coffee shop down the street. And there's one right over here on Wilmington Island, Georgia, where I live. And with this episode being brought to you by Square, I want to let you know what my neighborhood runs on Square. I go to pay, I tap to pay with my phone, bam. Square is exactly how I do it. When the neighborhood businesses thrive, the whole neighborhood thrives. The kind of place you walk in, everyone knows your name, the staff, they're like family, and it's all because Square makes it so convenient for the neighborhood to feel like home. They're a proud partner of more than 4 million neighborhood businesses. Go to square.com/go/lockedoncollege to learn more. But before you do, go support your favorite neighborhood spot. You'll be happy you did. Square, see you in the neighborhood with Square.